is Louisiana's news leader. Channel 4's Eyewitness News.
A local doctor receives the maximum penalty for the drunk driving death of his passenger.
Good evening. A local doctor will pay the maximum penalty for driving drunk into Bayou St. John last February.
His passenger has already paid the ultimate price, her life. And as Karen Swenson reports, there are aspects surrounding the case which may lead to further criminal charges.
25-year-old Shelley Hansel was a champion swimmer, a lifeguard who drowned inside a car on the bottom of Bayou St. John. She was trapped in a seatbelt while the doctor she was with escaped through a sunroof and then hesitated to call for help. Today, the former charity oral surgeon, Chris Neighbors, was sentenced to the maximum 15 years in prison for vehicular homicide.
I saw pictures of my child. I know she tried to get out of that car. She was trying to slide through that seatbelt. She was aware of what was happening to her. She probably lived 3 to 10 minutes after the accident. If someone would have been able to help her, but no one knew she was there. Mr. Neighbors kept everyone from knowing that she was in the water, did nothing to save her.
Today, the doctor took the blame, breaking down in tears on the stand. He said, "I agree with Mrs. Hansel that I'm completely responsible. I don't know how I did it, but I know it was my fault. I was an idiot. I was irresponsible. It was my fault."
That's the only remorse he showed in the courtroom, was to save himself. Not for my daughter, not for the life that he took.
Even the judge cited examples of Neighbors' bad attitude. Just hours before the accident at Parkway Tavern, Neighbors threatened a cop trying to stop him from fighting. Neighbors admits he said, "If you throw me out of here, you better hope you never come to charity." And then there was the truck he bought after the accident with a decal marked Splash on it. His friend said he didn't mean anything by it, and they testified as to what a caring person he is. But the judge didn't buy it.
What the court took into consideration was everything that happened that night and all the facts that happened that night, and really focused on it. And obviously the court felt that that was the appropriate sentence.
Sandra Hansel clings to her daughter's ashes and a rosary. Today, she says, she will put her child to rest. But another case is just unfolding.
Neighbors admitted today that he is an alcoholic, and he said that on the night of the accident he'd been drinking very heavily. But when his blood alcohol content was measured here at Charity Hospital that night, it came out at only 0.04. And even the defense admitted the sample had been contaminated. And earlier, during the trial, EMS technicians testified it was the only case they could remember where they weren't allowed to remain present in the room when the test was taken. The DA's office has launched an investigation of possible obstruction of justice at Charity Hospital. Karen Swenson, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
A spokesman for Charity says they regret the tragic death of Shelley Hansel, but they won't comment on the blood test of Chris Neighbors. As for Neighbors' family, they say the judge ignored Chris's remorseful statements and testimony of friends who backed him up. They say the sentence is extreme for a first-time offense, and they're consulting their lawyer about a possible appeal.